Good morning, everyone. I am here at the Mississippi Children's Museum, and I am about to show you guys how to make butter at home. So what you're going to need, if you have it at home right now, you will need heavy whipping cream, which you can get from Kroger in the milk section. It's usually near where things like half and half are, like what your parents put in their coffee. You will need a mason jar or a similar container that you can close very tightly because you don't want it to leak. And you'll need a plate or a bowl, maybe a butter knife or a fork or spoon, just something you can use to get your butter out of the jar after you make it. If you have these things at home, you can go get them right now while I tell you a little bit about how butter is made. Otherwise, you can watch this video later after you get the supplies. So, have you ever read a book like Little House on the Prairie or something like that where they have to churn butter, or watched a TV show where they had to churn butter? We're about to do the exact same thing as they do, just in a slightly different way. So, have you ever put oil and water together and you see how the particles separate? Oil and water, they don't mix. Well, there's a term called emulsion. And this means that it's possible for tiny particles of two seemingly unmixable substances, like oil and water, to suspend in one another. And this activity is going to demonstrate that. So, when you drink milk, milk is mostly water with 5 to 10% of protein and fat globules. That's a fun word, isn't it? Can you say that word at home? Globules. So, cream like this is milk that contains of fat globules. This one right here, I can look at the back. I don't know if you can see it, but it has 17%. So a globule, that's kind of a funny word, so I'm going to talk about what it means. It's a super tiny membrane filled with fat molecules. So what you can think about is a microscopic, teeny tiny water balloon that you can't actually see, but it's there. It's inside the heavy whipping cream. They're so small and they're lighter than water, which means that they float. So what we're going to do, if you have your materials, is you need to open up your mason jar and pour in maybe like 1/3 or so of your heavy whipping cream. You see how thick it is when I pour it? What we're going to do is we are going to shake it. Now this takes a long time, so I'm not going to sit here and shake it for 10 minutes while you watch on the video, because that wouldn't be very exciting. But when we start shaking it, the fat globules, they smash together inside the liquid and they burst apart like water balloons, if you've ever had a water balloon fight. When this happens, the fat spills out of the globules and then it clumps together. So it comes out of the little water balloons and then it clumps together again, which makes it separate from the liquid. So what's going to happen as you're shaking this is eventually, you hear how it sounds? It's going to stop making noise, and at that point you have whipped cream. At that point you want to keep shaking it because you're going to start hearing it again, which means that the solid has separated from the liquid. And I have one that I made yesterday that I can show you. So this is what it's going to look like after you shake it for a really long time. I'm going to pull it out with the fork. So when it separates, you have created 2 new substances. You have created, and it's a little hard because I kept it in the fridge overnight, you've created butter, which you can put on toast or waffles or really whatever you want to put butter on. And then you have buttermilk. Now buttermilk, to me, I don't know about y'all, but to me buttermilk is kind of gross if you taste it just on its own, but it's great to cook with. Have you ever had buttermilk pancakes or anything like that? And that is how you make butter. So when you're done shaking it, when it's become hard and you have this clump of butter, you can add some salt, which would probably make it taste a little better. Try it on toast. Let us know what you want to eat your butter on. And if you think of anything else you can do with buttermilk. So, yeah. Send us photos and you can tag us at MCM at Home. Thanks for joining.